Where do you think investment is most needed in Australia to improve the view of AI as a positive where it actually is having a really incredible impact?
From my perspective, where we need to be investing is public education. As sophisticated as these technologies may be, and with all of the benefits that they may provide, if we don't have general public education, the way that this kind of technology will be adopted and accepted by the general public is not going to be very effective. So I'm not sure how you kind of meant that question, maybe at a broader level, but as soon as you asked it, I immediately thought of that kind of general public. And the reason I think about that is I use this a lot, but I always think about my parents, right? My parents immigrated to Australia in the 70s and the 80s. English is not their first language. So I think about, if my parents were to go see a doctor and they were using some kind of AI-enabled tool, what general education have they been provided to give them trust and confidence in the use of that tool and allow them to have some level of personal security and safety in being able to say yes or no and having an educated reason for saying yes or no?
That's a great segue, because a lot of your research has been on AI safety, in particular in trusted autonomous systems. But can you take us back and tell us, I guess, what does give people confidence in AI capabilities, and how do people feel safe about them?
What gives people confidence in any technology, not just AI, is a history of use. When you use a piece of technology and it has worked for you a majority of the time, you are going to have a greater level of confidence in it. Google Maps is a really, really good example. When Google Maps first became really popular, I don't know if you remember, but it would take you down these like random streets. It would make you do really random U-turns in places where you didn't actually have to do a U-turn, right?
Or that it was illegal to do a U-turn.
Yeah, it was so bizarre. But this was, when the technology was still kind of coming about. And granted, it still makes those mistakes sometimes. But for the most part, the extended use over time of this technology did not only just improve the technology, but it also gave people a greater level of confidence because they had a history of use with this technology. And it's the same with AI. What gives people confidence in that technology and what makes them feel safe using it is that they have a history of use that they can lean back on. So if you're using, for example, ChatGPT every single day at work, which I don't recommend, but let's assume you're using it every single day at work, if it is working for you 95% of the time, of course you're going to have a high level of confidence in the system. But if it's working for you barely 20-30% of the time, then you're not likely to have a greater level of confidence in that system. So the history of use of technologies is really where the confidence building happens.